We think that we live in a free world, and whilst it may look that way in comparison to living under a brutal dictatorship, the reality is that the Western world has never been so restricted by laws, penalties and fines, taxes, debt and poor health. And all this while the Third World struggles in appalling poverty whilst being exploited and raped by the Western world. But make no mistake, there are hundreds and thousands of Australians on the brink of bankruptcy and poverty right now. Our society is riddled with malpractice, divorce, cancer, heart disease, obesity, diabetes and depression. That is not freedom. The fact is that our freedoms and human rights are being removed every day by corporations masquerading as government, by unscrupulous banks, by corrupt pharmaceutical and medical industries, and by the international military-industrial complex that demonstrates nothing short of psychopathic behaviour. The highly controlled media machine bombards the masses with lies designed to keep people in fear, reporting only what works for the corporatocracy and the ruling elite. The world is not well. In fact, if things continue the way they are, our future is bleak. Freedom Summits are here to shine a light on the dark times, drawing together inspirational leading speakers from around the world to collaborate in showing you solutions that can bring about true change. You will leave these summits with tangible, proactive ways to make your life more purposeful, positive and full of hope, moving ever closer to being healthy, fulfilled and free. Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth. Prepare for one of the biggest freedom summits to hit Australian shores. Come and hear from local and international speakers about the topics that seem to elude mainstream narrative. Topics that need to be addressed now. Check out just some of the incredible speakers for this November round of summits. Ian Crane, direct from the UK just for these summits. Ian is an international activist and public speaker that leaves nothing behind. His no-holds-barred talk will leave you shocked, disgruntled, inspired and motivated all at once. It's called Apathy Kills. Steve Hughes, heavy metal comedy, hard-edged social commentary at its best. Steve is also an international act, having performed on the well-known comedy events such as Live at the Apollo and many, many more. With a lot of heavy information to digest, Steve is a spoonful of honey that helps the medicine go down. Samantha Backman, Sam's comic approach to sharing critical information about food, health, the body and ego will leave you in stitches. Buckle up because Samantha will push your boundaries and beliefs, but with a fun-loving chuckle along the way. Roman Spur, a jovial Czechoslovakian who sees the huge opportunities that we Aussies simply miss. Roman will share amazing information about being self-sustainable, even as a renter in the big cities. This will be one of the eye-opening talks of the weekend indeed. Paul Seals, a committed activist here in Australia. Paul spent a huge amount of time at the recent Bentley blockade, where people power really made a difference in halting CSG mining monster Santos. Paul is also going to share life-changing benefits of plant medicines like ayahuasca. Hidden by the West and even made illegal, these natural plant-based ceremonies have been practiced mostly in South America. This is quite an incredible story for you all. Graham Donnelly, a chartered accountant who assists people with integrating the public and private worlds through foundations and private trusts. Graham is a very rare find in the truth arena, and we're blessed to have his knowledge and expertise. Nikki Mee. Free to Shine is an organisation that believes children ought to be in schools, not brothels. Nikki is the founder and driving force behind this hard-working grassroots team. Nikki's talk will be challenging, but also very positive in what we can all do to help the vastly growing problem of child sex slavery. We also have some inspiring speakers in each city on sustainability and population growth. See the website for specific speakers in each city. There's also the usual suspects in Mark Darwin, Mr. X and the Credit Liberation Team, sharing the juicy bits of handling debts honourably by exposing bank frauds and dealing with fines and infringements. Always plenty of questions and interest here. To round out the events, we have the highly infectious dance experience of Digital, bringing ancient knowledge to a modern world through music. These guys will have you leaving the events on fire. We'll see you there. Perth, 1st and 2nd of November. Sydney, 8th and 9th of November. Melbourne, 15th and 16th of November. Brisbane, 22nd, 23rd of November.